What's up, Hippo lovers? WTF happened in July 2025. One of the big stories was that a lot of players switched some teams, and there was some interesting information behind that. First of all, Dogao left his team, Leary and Hart left as well without joining a new team. Official statement from Onimaru was like something like, there are bigger fish in the sea, they couldn't compete with the finances. Lots of vague information, nothing really known. Jordan and Dogao then joining Onimaru, and ACCM switching from My Insanity to Wonders. No direct team tournament on the horizon, so quite interesting to see all this happening. Then we had a 1v1 tournament concluding, the $10,000 Medieval Masters organized by Mario, and believe it or not, Hera, being the best player in the world, did actually not win it. He became second. Mr. Yo, incredible performance there, ahead of the big Chinese LAN coming up, showing some good form. Nigov getting third place there, nice for him. And yeah, there's some interesting stats. I actually looked them up. Hera's performance in A-tier tournaments. So this is all filtered down A-tier. The most recent one, second. Then team game tournament, then lost in round of 16, team game tournament, lost in round of 8, lost in round of 32, second place, lost in round of 8, team game tournament, oh, that was a team game tournament as well. So, quote unquote, only one win in 8-tier tournaments, and that was in 2022 from Hera. And the rest team game tournaments or him not winning it, which is quite crazy if you guys remember last week, where we showed how incredibly dominant he is in S-tier tournaments and how he's winning all of them in a row. Quite interesting that that happened. You could make an argument that it's maybe him not focusing that much. Maybe it's just like him being hyper focused on the S-tier tournaments. I think that's the case there, and he simply like really gives 100% there. Yeah. Then that brings us to the big Chinese $50,000 LAN happening soon. Qualifiers are happening. Obviously, the big four invited: Mr. Yo, Leary, Viper, and Hera, and we're fighting for 6 more spots. We already know 3 of them. ACCM, without dropping a single map, went through here. MBL did not sign up for the second qualifier, so won't make it to that LAN. And Doubt losing to Mihai 3-0 here. Another spot taken by Nigov after the great performance at Medieval Masters takes down Tado, who will have a tough bracket in the second round. And we have Hart going through with a solid 4-0 performance there. And next bracket, 2 more spots for international players still to give. Winchester trying to make something happen. Lewis, who beat Jordan in the first round in the first qualifier, trying his luck again here. Doubt obviously wants to have a say, and well, lots of big names still in there. As you can see, Andy. First round matchup, Tado against Jordan. Jordan still suffering from being inactive for so long, having a really bad seed, and therefore being matched against the top guys. That's going to be a banger, actually happening, I think, this Tuesday already. And then Sunday, we know the 2 more people. Then there will be 1 Chinese mainland qualifier for the last 10th spot. Not so good news. I told you about a tournament happening last month. It was a 3v3 sudden death tournament, and that one had an interesting timeline. Oh, alert, put on your sunglasses. Handbook says semifinals should be played 23rd to 25th. And as you can see, those were played 27th of June, so a month late. This one was played 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks late. So everything got really delayed. And the main host of the tournament actually couldn't cover this, and therefore refunded all the donations and all the prize pool to the donors, but didn't tell the players. So players thought the tournament was continuing, but the main host was actually not interested in the tournament anymore. and therefore couldn't really pay out. Obviously, lots of drama. Third place match was not played. In the end, I think players got paid. Onimaru paid their players, and some of the sponsors still provided the money thereafter also. I think most of it is settled, but obviously, yeah, something that got a lot of attention there. Big problem, obviously. $1,500 tournament overlapping with a lot of other tournaments. Players did not a great job keeping up the schedule. But obviously, main problem was like the lack of communication from the host there. New tournament, serious actually, Midweek Madness. It's going to be a project from Daniela and Robo. It will be a weekly tournament, always happening Mondays to Thursday, 3 times a month. As you can see, 3 episodes already scheduled for August. It was scheduled to be $100 each episode, but now with crowdfunding, we're already at $200. Planned to be around for the next 6 months. So if you always felt like Monday to Thursday, you need your esport fix, you should be covered better now. Then there was the, how is PUP called? Public Update Preview. Okay, that's basically patch notes of a future patch that isn't 100% set in stone. It could still change, but obviously developers have put a lot of thought into it. That's a lot of like balance changes, as you can see, like Hazard Wagon, Krampus. You see all the stuff here. The big change that got a lot of attention is that fruit from animals killed by military or buildings no longer spoiled and can now be gathered by villagers. Meaning, if you kill a deer with a militia, the food just stays there and decays, I believe, right? So it's not down to 0. And if you kill your boar with your town center or your sheep with your town center, there's still food left. So that's something that got viewed very controversial. I think this is good for newcomers, actually. But obviously, it's a very old game, and we've been playing with this for 25 years, so yeah. Lots of people don't like it. Skirmisher train time, 22 to 26 seconds. In a very long time, the basic units have not been touched, except men-at-arms, but archers, scouts, skirmishers, spearmen. So interesting to have a change there. Moving a bit away from the skirmisher meta. Look ahead is basically the conclusion of the Ling Yuan Cup qualifier, and then we are starting with Sudden Disaster, another $10,000 tournament hosted by John Slow. You only can build 1 town center, or you only have your starting town center, cannot build more. If you lose it, you're dead. Single elimination, I believe, not even sure about that, but $10,000 tournament starting this month, which brings us to clip of the month. We had Regicide Rumble, a tournament hosted by T90, where you have to keep your king alive. 8 players, always free for all, everyone against everyone, and this is the highlight scene of this tournament.
It's still running. It's running like where there's no castle though, so this could be the end for purple. And now purple is making a dive for gray. It is now or never for Papaviki. Who will win this? The king for gray is in a tower behind the castle. The king for purple is on the move, and there is a hussar behind it. It's still in a tower. It is still in that tower. You can see the flag right there. That is where it is. This is where purple is. This is where gray is. This is where purple is. This is where gray is. Is gray gonna do it? Who did it? Gray did it. Gray actually did it. Where is the king for gray? Where is the king? What? It's on 31 HP. That was a photo finish. That was crazy, dude. And gray, 860 elo, will be in the final.
Pretty epic scenes there in this FFA tournament. I obviously love FFA tournaments. And yeah, if you want to watch those VODs, T90 will have all of them on his YouTube prepared for you. And I think that's it from me. Goodbye, Hippo lovers.